Hi everyone, welcome to the 12th episode of the Zicast. As always, I'm your host, Ryan Ziaks, and today I'm joined by filmmaker Julia Schnarr.
Hi. Thank
Yes.
you for having me.
Of course. And as always, I'd like to thank Casey McNichol for making sure that for her continued support and for making sure that our operation is running smoothly. And you know the whole gist of the Zicast as a way for me to get to know my friends on a deeper level.
Totally.
So since we have our Schnarr of the show, how about we get into things?
I like that. Schnarr of the show. That's
Yes.
fun. Yeah.
Schnarr Wars.
Schnarr Wars.
I'm sure you've
There's a lot more
Yes.
that we haven't even discussed. Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of the puns.
Exactly. So, Julia, how about you tell us a bit about yourself?
Okay. Hi, I'm Julia. I'm a filmmaker. I'm 21 years old. I have loved film and movies since as long as I can possibly remember back in time when I was a young child. Most of my friends know I like movies. I mean, pretty much everybody I know knows I love movies. It's one of my favorite things ever. I came to Quinnipiac and really wanted to do something with film. I knew kind of like when I was growing up in school that I wanted to make movies, and I think I must have made my first film when I was like 8 years old, but I didn't I had no idea how to do it. Just like took my camcorder and started filming my stuffed animals and trying to move them around, and like I actually sometimes look back at that footage and I'm like, oh my god, what was I doing? But yeah, a little bit, but I don't know why this just popped in my head, but your water bottle reminded me when I was a kid, I used to play soccer. So I was a soccer goalie for a while. I don't know if a lot of people know that about me, but I used to play sports and then quit and then did the drama club in high school. That was like what I really enjoyed doing. I'm trying to think about a little bit more about myself. I don't often talk about myself because I like to hear other people's stories, but some of my favorite subjects are English. I love to read. I love to write. I'm taking a poetry class right now. I love to write poetry.
Telling this to the English major.
Yeah, the English. Yeah, exactly. I like poetry a lot. Do you like poetry a lot or not?
Yes.
I am obsessed. Yeah, I've been writing poetry for years. Really like history. I've always loved history. I took a history class that had to do with climate change and global environmental issues 2 semesters ago, and that was really cool. Loved the professor. It was great. But those like topics have always been something I've very much included in my life. I love history, I love film, and I love art, and I love all things like creative. Sometimes math, but normally I don't really love math. I mean, I'm not doing trig in my free time, but yeah, I would say like my mental math is okay. It's all right. It's not terrible. I like to play board games. I like to get outdoors. I like to hike a lot. The weather right now is making me sad because I haven't been able to hike a lot in the wet, cold rain. But I normally would go on Sleeping Giant and see what adventures I can find up there and trails and things like that. Except I hate bears. I'm really scared of bears. I'm really afraid. I once went hiking by myself, which was a stupid idea, and saw that there were 3 bear warning signs in a row on trees, and I was like, well, this is a great time to turn back, and I did. I was like, this is not going to end well for me, I have a feeling. But yeah, a little bit more about me. I have a dog. His name is Frankie. A spring break is coming up, so I get to see him really soon, and I love him. I miss him. I got him when I was 13, so he's an old boy now. But he always jumps up on me when I come home, and he's excited to see me. And I also have a younger sister, who's going to college soon, and that is crazy to me. I grew up with my sister. We were very close and still are very close, and it's like these milestones in her life. She's growing up. Do you have siblings?
Well, I had my brother on.
Oh, you did have your brother.
Episode.
Oh my god. Okay, so you do have siblings.
Yes.
Yeah, I love my sister. She's awesome. My parents are cool. I guess that's like the rundown on me, I guess.
And what about your specific major?
My specific, I'm a film major.
Yes.
I'm a 3+1 film major with a BFA. This is my last year. I'm a senior, so I'm graduating this year, which is crazy to me. And then my grad year's next year, which is also exciting.
Yes.
I love my classes right now. Things are going very, very well. And have done so many projects and so many films. Another thing about me is the president of Women in Film. It is my highlight of my life. I love the club so much. I have met so many great people through Women in Film, and our strive we strive for a lot of like ambitious projects and activist related projects, and I really enjoy that side of film and kind of like putting good content forward in the world that relates to things that really matter to me and other people. That's really fun. I am dethroning though soon. We're having an election, so we're gonna have a new e-board, and I'm passing it on, which I'm excited for the next year of people who will run the club. But yeah, that's more about me.
Wow.
I kind of went everywhere all at once, but I hope that kind of encompasses me a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, everyone does have a story.
Yeah, that's true.
And before we get into the topics, I'd like to kind of talk about our first interaction.
Yes.
So I was really impressed.
Yes.
By that.
Okay,
It was very professional to kind of
I
explain
do remember
it to me.
that.
At a QFS meeting,
Yes.
you went up to me and introduced yourself and handed me this card.
You still have the card.
Yes.
I love it. Yes, I did give you my business card. I will tell you why I gave you my business card. Because I remember hearing about this guy, Ryan. Ooh, who's this guy? You were a new face. I thought you were a freshman. Because typically new faces are freshmen. I have a friend, Josh, who's in QFS too, and he was a new face, and he loves movies as much as I do. And so we began to talk, and I assumed you were a freshman because you were a new face, but then I heard, no, he's not a freshman. And you were doing all these really cool things, and like you just started joining all these clubs, and I was like, oh, like this guy knows what's up. Like he is active and he's participatory. And I decided, I was like, we should work together. And I was like, oh my God, hi, like you don't know me, but I think maybe I was wearing this. Was I wearing this?
Most
I don't
likely.
remember.
You're wearing something.
I was wearing something.
Very
I'm always
Schnarr.
wearing something. And then I was like, oh yeah, I always carry around in my phone one extra business card. Sometimes I give it out to people when I feel like I want to like work with them or network or something like that, but also like get to know them. So I gave you the card and I was like, let's do something together. And now we actually are doing something together right now, and in the future we're making a film together, which is really cool. Love that. Yeah, remember that well. It's a good moment. For sure.
It was a very good moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, yeah, very professional. Went
Thanks.
right up to me. I was very impressed.
Thank you. I was very impressed with you. Yeah, that's
Thank
why I
you.
gave you the card. I was like, oh, he's cool. Let's do it.
I was very impressed with you, so it all worked out.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, super.
But I think that's a perfect time to kind of lead us into our topics.
Yeah.
And you kind of already went into it a little bit, but kind of if you have any other ways to elaborate, is kind of where your passion for filmmaking stems from.
Okay. I did think about this because when I'm asked, like, how did you get into it, it's such a weird answer. I've always been into it, but my defining moment, I remember I was probably like 3 years old, and I remember there's 2 films that I really loved, and I just didn't know why, and I just wanted to know more about them and see them over and over again. And one of those was The Wizard of Oz. My grandmother, she sat me down in front of the TV one day. I was sitting on the floor, and I remember seeing The Wizard of Oz VHS go into the player and watching like the beginning sequence and like it changing from like, you know, sepia black and white to color, and just like, oh, like that was amazing. I've never seen anything like that before. And then I also I still have this VHS tape in my room currently. The Mary Poppins movie. Love that movie. When I was 4 years old, I probably watched that movie like 3 or 4 times, and I was like, oh, like the music and the style, and I guess like the older films too. Like that's something I just love. I don't know why, but those 2 films are like what got me interested and what got me thinking about how those films were made and what went into them, and then seeing the behind the scenes of a lot of films and like watching films and thinking about how they made Mary fly, you know, and how they did certain special effects, like looking at, you know, the underbelly of the work that went into a beautiful art piece was something I was really interested in, and I would try and just learn as much as I could. And I'd get Christmas presents with like film books and all these, like, you know, I'd get cameras and film books and movies for, you know, birthday gifts and stuff like that, and I just kept learning and now here I am. Yeah. So, and that's continued today. I still, I was just today at Best Video. It's a place in Hampton, and it's got 4,000 DVDs, and that's a lot. And I just go in every week, and I get a new DVD, and I watch a new movie, and I'm a movie addict, actually. The cinephile community is real, and I'm going through the stages of addiction with it. I watch I watch a lot of movies. I watch too many movies probably.
Don't we all?
Yeah, too many. But I love them. I love them so much. They're all really cool. Some of them are bad. But most of them are really, really good.
They all teach you something.
There's never a movie that's like the same as another film. Like every film you experience is different and it's crafted differently, and there's a different impact to it. And
yeah,
movies could go on and on. Yeah.
Wizard of Oz, Mary Poppins, those are two very Schnarr movies.
Yeah. Mary Poppins is one of my faves probably ever.
And you're familiar with Mary Poppins and Casey Poppins. So
yes. I know that whole story. Poppins and I met 2 years ago, I think, and I think she just ended up telling me the story about her nickname, and I thought it was awesome. I'm like, you are so cool. Like, you're so lucky. I never got a nickname like that. Everyone just calls me Schnarr because of the 3 Julias that exist, and that's why I got the nickname Schnarr. I don't mind at all. I think it's fun. But Poppins is a cool, like, pop culture nickname. I don't know. It's really neat. Yeah, good for her. Proud of Casey Poppins and Adelka.
Of course, as we all are.
Yes.
And you kind of talking about those 2 movies, I want to ask you about your appreciation for classic cinema and how that shaped your overall vibe.
So I love black and white films. I don't know why, but I do remember like watching things on TV as a kid and seeing them and kind of just wanting to know more about like what's going on there. I could distinctly remember when I watched Annie, the 1988 Annie, with Carol Burnett. There was a movie that they went to go see in the theater. And I believe that movie was Greta Garbo's in it. She's old. She's dead. But it was a movie that was in black and white, and I was like, what is that movie? And then this year, I finally got to see the black and white film. But I remember when I was like 14, like old and vintage things have always just kind of like creeped into my life. I've never really gone out to like look for them. They've always just kind of like crept in, and like I just am drawn to it for some reason. And when I was 14, I remember it like it was yesterday. It was a day like this. It was a day that was like cloudy and rainy, and my dad took us out to like Red Lobster or something, and it was me, my sister, and my dad. And then after Red Lobster, I'm like, I want to watch a movie really bad. I don't know what I want to watch. And I look on Hulu, I think, and what popped up was Gilda with Rita Hayworth. It's a 1940s film, and I had not seen Gilda before. It was actually, I think it was in the Shawshank Redemption. They have like a clip of it when the men in jail watch her flip her hair back, and that's like the only clip I'd ever really seen of it. And so I watched Gilda for the first time that day. I believe it was like March something. I don't remember. But that was like the movie that really started my interest in like black and white, like film noir movies. I still love black and white film noir movies. I recently watched one called Double Indemnity, which is a really good black and white film. Josh,
I've seen that.
You have seen that?
Yes.
Do you like that movie?
I really liked
it's
it, yeah.
So good. I need to rewatch that one. Yeah, I'm obsessed with it. There's just really cool stories, I guess, that are told like time period wise. I think time period films are really interesting, and it's like time traveling a little bit. Like you get to watch what was and what people used to do back then, how they used to speak, or and sometimes art is timeless in a way. So you watch stuff and you're like, oh, this could be like a story like today. One of my favorite movies of all time is It Happened One Night, and I think it was made in 1934. Frank Capra directed it. I don't know why I know all this stuff. Clark Gable was in it. Claudette Colbert is the lead actress. It won like 5 Academy Awards for the time, and it was like the one movie that did it all. Like it got like, the most amount of awards ever. And I don't know. I just like I picked it up at a yard sale, and I was like, oh, $1? Okay, I'll buy it. And then I watched it, and I was like, whoa, that's my kind of movie. And ever since, I don't know. I just really like old cinema and old classic cinema. There's something about the history to it too that I really enjoy, but it also has to do with the creative elements. Like you can't recreate a performance the way that they did it back then. I know another film, just off the cuff here. There was another movie I watched that had Bette Davis, and it's called All About Eve. It's from 1950, and she's killer in it. She kills. Oh, it's like the old divas and they're like talking, and that one's another really good one. That I would say like kind of started my interest, and now I've seen like more than I should of everything. Yeah, the black and white element too. I don't know why that is. Like most people will be like black and white. I'm like, black and white? Yes. I have one friend who's like, you watch black and white? And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I do. Love it. Yeah, it's just different. It's just really cool. Can't explain, but it's neat. Neat indeed. Love it.
I feel so sophisticated now.
Yeah. I guess I'm like old soul at heart too. I mean, I've always like thought about it, and I'm like, why do I like all this old stuff? I'm like, I don't know, just do. Yeah, it's just how I be like an old lady. Like as a 21-year-old, like I am an old person.
It'd be like that sometimes.
It do be like that sometimes. Yeah.
But I very much see what you see in those films, the kind of magic they have.
Yes.
Filmmaking just kind of felt different back then.
Yeah.
Especially a movie like Double Indemnity, like the dialogue is so crisp.
It is so good. And like some of the camera angles and shots too they pick. I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. I don't know if I mentioned this, I probably didn't, but I directed a capstone recently, and directing is something I really like doing and have been doing for a bit. But I really love and acknowledge good directors when they put a lot of heart and soul into their work, and I think it shows when you have a really good film you watch and you go, wow, like this has now changed my life somehow. And
this
you wonder,
is cinema.
This is cinema. This is perfect. How do I do something like that? So, yeah, I think art and cinema and good directing kind of go hand in hand when you have a great passion for it. I notice a lot of people who like in the field of filmmaking who really, really like love what they do. It shows, and it shows through their art and their work, and I love them for it because it's entertaining for me. I love to watch good stuff. Yeah, good directors. Martin Scorsese's one of them. Love Martin Scorsese. And Greta Gerwig. Oh my god. You can talk about Greta Gerwig forever. Have you seen the Barbie movie?
I have, yes.
I have seen the Barbie. Ugh, I love it. I showed my mom, and she was like, that was really cute. And I'm like, yeah, it was. My dad liked it. My dog liked it. He watched it with us. Yeah, obsessed. Yeah.
And that's a perfect segue, because I was about to ask you the director that's influenced you the most and the actor that's influenced you the most.
Oh, that's hard. That's really hard. No, I will say, okay, the first one I mentioned was Scorsese, because when I watched Taxi Driver for the first time, and I thought it was really good. But then I started watching more Scorsese stuff, and I was like, oh, this is really, really, really good. I think Goodfellas is like one of the coolest movies ever made.
Agreed.
Ever made. Like, you can't put music and characters and camera movements together the way he does. I just recently watched Killers of the Flower Moon, and was blown away by not just the subject matter that I'm very passionate about, but like something so cool and true and like raw. He has a really good eye. Martin Scorsese has a really good eye. I watch a lot of TV interviews, and he and I relate to the fact that he's like, it's like a drug.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't escape it. And I'm like, yeah, Martin, we both are diseased with the love for it. Filmmaking and art and directing. Actor's hard. Actor is really difficult because there's so many good ones. I remember when I was 14, I watched Scarface for the first time. And let me tell you, Al Pacino did something to me wanting to act angry. I've never seen a man do like a better attempt at acting with such like anger in him. I don't know why, but I thought it was really cool, and I thought he was really interesting in that. He was also in Dog Day Afternoon, which is a movie. Mm-hmm. Have you seen it?
I have, yes.
I'm so proud of you. Yes.
Attica.
Yeah, he's so good in that one too. There's something about his acting I really, really like. Like he can do it better than anybody. He was in The Godfather. Yeah. I love that. I'm a feminist. I love The Godfather. I think The Godfather is a really good movie. But yeah, Al Pacino has done something for me as far as entertainment goes. Like seeing how an actor works and seeing how they really put their best efforts into like creating a character. It's super unique to watch him do stuff. I'm trying to think my favorite actress. I have so many favorite actresses, but I feel like I should mention one. It's It's really hard. I don't know. Florence Pugh. Florence Pugh's really cool. She's really pretty. I like Florence Pugh. She in Midsummer. Have you seen Midsummer?
I have not yet.
Midsummer, I won't spoil it, is crazy. That's just all you need to know. Go in with a good, stable mind. Because you will need one when you watch it.
I won't have one by the time it's over.
No, you won't. No, you won't. But I just, the way she works is crazy. She's another actor I think is really, really talented. And I've seen her do it's cool when you see actors do other things that are very, very different than their other previous roles, because then you know that they can switch it up so well that they're like good in certain, they're good in everything. They're not just good for like horror. They're not just good for comedy. They're
like
good
Ryan
for, like,
Gosling.
Yes, yes, totally. I just watched Lars and the Real Girl with Ryan Gosling. It's about him, and you've seen it?
I have not seen it, but I know of it.
You know of it? His girlfriend, he introduces his girlfriend to his brother and his sister-in-law, and his girlfriend is a sex doll. She's not real. Oh, but it's like, it's so funny to me. The writing for that film was so smart, and I would watch it again in a heartbeat. It was a sad film, but really cute. Yeah, hilarious. He was so good in that one. And of course, Ken. Who could forget? He was so good as Ken. I think no one else could be as good as Ken as he was. He was excellent.
Best Supporting Actor nom.
I know. See, I don't know about the Oscars. Are you keeping track of those?
Yes.
My
friend Michael Rada and I made an Oscars prediction article.
You did? Oh my gosh. Well, the thing is, I don't know if I'm good at predicting them. I mean, this year I tried very hard. I was like, okay, look at my list and see what I need to like pinpoint the most. Like, okay, which one is the most popular and which one is like getting the most rave, blah blah blah. But all I know is that Paul Giamatti should get something. Even though he might not get something, I still haven't seen Holdovers, but I know that his performance, like the trailer, just made me like, oh, my heart throb for him. Yeah, there's a lot of great movies this year. Tons of great films. Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, subjective awards, they have their, you can have your complaints, but I do think Oscars, it is a fun way to kind of gather everybody.
I love
celebrate movies.
Yeah. I'm going to be on set during Oscars Day, and hopefully we wrap early so that I can like get there on time and sit with my mom on the couch and like eat popcorn and food and watch and see if I lose money or not. Because I may. Who knows? Yeah.
Fun.
It's okay.
But back kind of onto the topic, I mean, those are all very fitting people for you to look up to. Scorsese with his long filmography that's still ongoing. Al Pacino, who always brought the big theatrical feel.
Yeah.
And it's versatile on his own right. Like Michael Corleone's very cerebral, quiet, very intense in his eyes. Tony Montana screams and is all over the place.
Yeah.
And of course Florence Pugh, very subtle in what she does.
Killing the game.
And she's in kind of horror, kind of art house horror films like Midsummer, and she's in the MCU. Yeah. And she's in Oppenheimer. Yeah. And she's kind of doing the rounds. Those all people that make sense for you.
Yeah. And I will say, I know Florence Pugh was in Don't Worry, Darling, and that movie was not my favorite movie, but she made that movie so good. She tried so hard with that role. I could tell that that was like a really, really good job on her end to try and like pull the plot through. Yeah. And she just like, she's a great leading actor too. I think she's excellent. And I need to see Dune because she's in it. So I'm gonna. And
that's another franchise
Dune.
She touched.
yeah, it's really neat. I did see Dune. I think we talked about this, but we saw. Yeah, I saw Dune, and I have to see the second Dune. I don't know if I'm gonna go on IMAX though or not because it's very big, and those sandworms freak me out. I am scared of them. They are freaky. I don't know.
You can envision them like those worms from SpongeBob. Maybe that would help.
Sure, I'll try and envision them as the worms from SpongeBob.
Whatever helps.
I get scared. Yeah. Yeah.
But now to kind of talk about the work you've done, I'd like to ask you about some of the films you've made and what you want to say with your work.
Oh my gosh, sure. Just like some of the films I've made on campus and stuff.
Yeah, whatever you've made, period, if you want to go into that. And I'll ask you about specific ones as we go, but just the overview. One
that came to mind as you were talking was I made a film called Ball and Oates. Was it last year? Last year. 2 years. I can't do math. When I was a sophomore, we shot a film. Carl Brooks directed it Colin was our DP, and I wrote it and I script supervised it, but it was about a talking tennis ball. And to this day, it is one of my favorite films that I've done at Quinnipiac. I don't know why. Like, it's the stupidest, but it's the best in my mind.
I have seen that film.
You have seen that
Yes.
film. It's. I think part of it was the casting idea to get Atkins to play the tennis ball. I'm very proud of that one. He did a great job too. He was like, "What sides you want?" He's like, "Do you want full on Dave Atkins or do you want me to try?" Oh my God, this is my Dave Atkins impression. Hey yo, I can try and do it like this and like this, and yeah, he gave us options and he tried really hard to make sure it was good for us. So I owe David a lot because he did two voiceover jobs for me, and so I should start paying him for it now because
He was a banana as well, right?
he was a banana as well. That's a terrible film. I was so embarrassed, but wrote a film in like 20 minutes. It was like 3 pages long. I did not proofread it. We just shot it for fun, and it's called Banana God, so you can imagine what it entailed. But I was in it, and Finn Meyer directed. Love Finn. And it was about a banana god, and Atkins again was the banana. So that one won't see the light of day unless anyone asks me. That one is not public on the channel. I don't know if I'm willing to share that with too many people, but people, if they ask me to see it, I can maybe send it to them.
Well, you've shared it with people now.
Yeah, well,
putting
everyone
it out
knows
there
now.
here.
Yeah, exactly. But that one was fun. It's just embarrassing. My God, it's so embarrassing. Because I'm in it. Also, I've acted in film. I don't prefer it. I really like being behind the camera, but it's so weird to see yourself, and that's what I don't like about film is you act, you have to play it back at some point, or you have to edit it back at some point, or like see yourself, and it's like I don't want to do that. Why would I want to do that? No, but other films I've done. Oh yeah, Capstone, obviously. Relentless Reflection is our film. Our actor, who we ended up casting / hiring, her name is Shelby Hightower, and Shelby Hightower did a film with me last summer called All Is Well. And All Is Well was like my first big funded film. I did it with my company, Sunbeam Productions LLC, like on your card.
Yes.
That I gave you. And it was a huge deal. I was so nervous for it. But I had a really, really awesome guy, Rick Hansberry, who I met, who is a producer and a writer, who encouraged me to do it. He was like, "You should make this film. It's good." And I was like, "What do you mean? What do you mean? what do you mean?" And from there on, we just started working on it and started thinking about how to actually do it. And one of the coolest things for that film I ended up doing was location scouting. I scouted where I grew up and actually asked a couple business owners if they were willing to let us shoot there, and they said yes. And I was like, what? And we didn't really have to pay a lot of money for it, and I'm very grateful to this day for them. I still support them. I still go see them and, like, you know, eat there and buy stuff from there. It's at the Rebecca Collection where I grew up, and the station where I grew up too. So it was a big deal for me. I was nervous. I was like the director. Also, I was a young director. Everyone else on set was older than me, and I wanted everybody to know that I kind of knew what I was doing. So it was pressure-filled, but I want to say, like, fun, too. Like, I really enjoyed it. I would never imagine something like that happening in the way that it did happen, and everyone just really came together. I love being on set. My cast and my crew were so lovely to work with. Like, we almost never had, like, a dull moment. Everyone was, like, really just, like, in tune and had a great time. And I was just, I'm very proud of it. It's running film festival circuits now. But I maybe will show it at school. I am not sure. I forgot that I even was going to do that. But I showed it. It screened at my hometown. And that was fun. The next time you can PA if you really want, because I definitely like need more PAs for film. It's like hard to do things yourself.
I would love to.
Do you like PAing on films?
I like being on films.
You like
so
being on films?
if that's what it takes, I just like knowing how everyone does their jobs.
Yeah.
And getting to see the process works, and
Totally.
PA is a great way to do that. And I like helping my friends out.
Same way. I learned so much from being a PA. Even if it's like stand here, you're standing for 2 minutes, or go carry this milkshake to somebody. I love being a PA. Sometimes more than being a director for certain things. I mean, it's just, you get to watch it all happen. It's really neat. PAing is fun.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite film role there, or like job on set?
Oh,
Have you
fun.
had to pick one?
That's an interesting
Now
one.
I'm asking you now.
Yeah, yes. Now the ball's in my court.
Yeah.
I would probably say the actor or the director.
Oh, nice. You like acting. That's so cool.
I do,
didn't
yeah.
know that.
Yes.
Well, I mean, you have a
Perhaps.
personality for it, I guess.
Ah.
That's good.
I appreciate that. Or
Personable.
writer as well.
Or writer.
If I could ever be fortunate enough to be all three, that's like the
Great.
ultimate dream.
Oh, that's a cool one. You can. You should. You should definitely do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's super neat.
I wouldn't be the only person to ever do that. But that would be like the perfect dream ideal role, and that's something I'm trying to work towards.
Yeah.
But
that's
in
really
regards to
neat.
your film, I'm glad that all was well.
Yes, thanks.
And that you were able to make it and show it, and I hope to
Ouch.
see it
Yeah.
at some point.
For sure. I can
Which
send you the unlisted link. How about that?
I would love it.
Sure.
Already sent. So now I kind of have a very peculiar question,
Sure.
which is if there's one thing you could bring to the film industry, what would it be?
One thing?
Yeah.
Is it a tangible item?
Like,
I'm just kidding.
okay.
No, one thing. Can you repeat the question again? I'm gonna listen to it and then internalize it.
Yeah, I know it's a lofty one.
I
If
like
there's
it.
one thing as in like anything you could bring to the film industry, what would it be? Like idea.
Because the film industry is doing lots of repeats now, sequels, franchises, something original. I would definitely try and like pursue like something that hasn't been done before, a story that hasn't been told yet. Because I feel like those are the best stories. Like the best stories come from the new and the like creative side of not hearing, or like something that's different, something that's well, I mean, I think I'm an interesting person, like as is. Not I walk around campus and like not a lot of people look like me on campus. I wear a lot of shit.
That's the goal.
Yeah, but I think like something new, I guess, would be something original. I'm always coming up with stupid little ideas here and there. So I would say like something original, something different. If I can, try my best to do that. But also like, I think film sets and film in general can use like a nice breath of fresh air. I think people take things very seriously when they're on set. And if you're enjoying the process and enjoying who's around you and what's around you, and like just take a moment to think about you're getting to make a movie. It's like fun. It's like have fun with it. I like to have fun on set. I think that's what I would bring fun and originality to set, or the industry if need be, because if you're doing a job that you don't love, don't do something different. I love doing my job. I love it. I wouldn't be doing anything else with my life probably, except crying. If I didn't do film, I don't know what I would do. Yeah, that's my answer to that. Did I answer your question?
You answered it perfectly.
Okay, great.
Fun. Who doesn't want fun and originality? And
Yeah, fun.
originality, much like movies of the past, that kind of told very raw stories.
Yeah. I'd bring nostalgia back too, for sure. Period pieces. Love those. Love those so much. I mean, we just Relentless Reflection is an 80s piece. It's an 80s film. So I would probably even go further back to like 50s, 40s. That's just me though. That's just me. I had an idea for a film that took place in the 1950s. It's like a horror, spooky, scary. Yeah.
Was it Don't Worry, Darling?
It was not. It was similar. It was very similar. No, it was not. It had to deal with like a woman who's a witch, but no one knows it yet. And it's okay. It's not very fleshed out yet, but she's a witch in the 50s. That's basically it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
If you ever need help expanding
I'll let
that,
you know.
let me know.
Totally. Yes, the writer. Sure.
Yes. And to talk
100%.
about how you produce these films, I'd like to ask you about your Sunbeam Productions. Kind of explain what it is and what your goals are with it.
Oh, I love my company. My company is like one year old and 2 months this year. It's been going on for a little bit. I started it to like use it for All Is Well. All Is Well had a lot of finances involved, and I wanted to make sure that like what I was doing was legitimate, and also in general I could have like a company name to myself. And I was like, why don't I do this? And then I did. But Sunbeam Productions is so much more than that. I feel like my motto is films that inspire, or like impact and inspire, because films without a purpose, entertainment is definitely a purpose, but I like films that have a distinct purpose and like trying to reach like specific community or people who really like need a story that is uplifting. So much of the time I see a lot of films that are really, really depressing, like can't get out of the, sadness of the story. Sundance has a lot of those. Fun fact. I went to Sundance. I was like, damn, that's really sad. Oh my god. And then I decided to want to make films that kind of like, I guess in general, like boost people up, or inspire something in somebody. An example of that, it wasn't under my company, but Women in Film recently made a film called Just Those Days. And it's a film that's very near and dear to me and a lot of other people. It's about disability awareness, and that's something that I'm very happy that we made. And we screened it at school right there in the piazza. And it was really cool, and it was really fun. But that's like what I really like to do, is like make films that are very impactful and that reach a good audience. So that's definitely something I'm losing my voice again. I talk a lot. Sorry.
We appreciate yapsters here.
Yeah. I just run my mouth all the time anyway, so this is a perfect place to be for me.
Oh, I very much welcome it.
Yeah, anywho. I forget what I was talking about. Did I answer that question too?
You answered it really, really well. And so I was very curious to kind of learn more about your production company, because I first got the card. I'm like, a production company?
Yeah. It's very small. It's just me. Me and some other people. I do make music videos though. With it. My friend and colleague Christy Chamora is an artist, and she is a musician, and I have been and I still am making music videos with her. That's something I've been doing with my company. And her music is just another thing that is inspiring to me, because I listen to her songs and then I make films for her songs and music videos for her songs, and it's like super cool and I really enjoy it. And so having somebody to work with who's also equally as passionate about art or something that relates to art is really fun. So working with her is really fun. And I have a Zoom with her next week about the next one we're going to shoot, which I'm excited about.
Kind of like what you did with Emily.
Yes, me and Emily, we made, I love that one. We did a Hosier music video last year. We woke up and like went to the beach at like 5 a.m. together to shoot the sunrise, and she slayed. I love Emily. I've known Emily since freshman year, and me and Emily have such a fun time when we make films together. We've acted in things together. We've done a couple different projects together now. And that music video is one of my favorites. She directed the film. I was just the camera girl. She directed the film. She helped me edit the film. And she was like the mind behind that. And I was like really impressed. I'm like, dude, you could do this. Like, you are so good. That music video was fun to do. Yeah, she was so fun to work with. Love her. Love Em. Yeah.
Yes, I can say the same.
Heard it here, Emily.
I can say the same from working with her. Sleight of hand
on the podcast
and having her on the podcast as well.
Sleight of hand. You're right. Oh my gosh. Yeah, she's dope.
It all comes full circle.
Totally.
And so now, I would like to ask about something that you said was near and dear to your heart.
Sure.
Your involvement in women in film.
Yeah. I love women in film. So my involvement, meaning like what we do and what we
kind of like what you do, have done, experience with it.
Yeah. So actually, I'll tell you how I started, actually, because it's a funny story. I went to the first Women in Film meeting ever to happen when I was a freshman, and Zoe Metzner was the president at the time. I went to one meeting and I stopped going. I didn't really know like what it was. It didn't fit in my schedule for freshman year, but I remember going, and I think like I was like, oh, these women are so cool and so brave and like really passionate. And then I thought about that after that year, and I went the second year of school, and I decided to start going to meetings more, and Kate Turner was the president at the time. And I was really interested in what they were doing, because they were making films like QFS, but they were doing it in a way that it was more activist related, and I started getting into like more like soul searching myself, be like, okay, what do I feel like as a woman in film in this industry, and like what can I contribute to them? And then like shortly after that, I ran for VP, and I was VP for a while. And VP basically was helping Kate do her thing, and running the Instagram, which I liked. It was fun. I learned how to use Canva like that. Canva was cool. And then I ended up running for president, and I got presidency. And love it since.
Mm.
Love it since. I think my favorite part of Women in Film is the community, obviously. I love our members, and all of us are friends, and so we always see each other on Monday nights and talk about, like, what's been going on and things that we can, do together, and it's been a wonderful year, I will say. I'm very proud of how far we've come. We're this close to getting chartered now. We're working with a school because Women in Film's been around for 3 years, and they have not had funds yet, but now we are getting there. So, like, we're on our way, which is really cool. It's cool to see, like, how it's grown, It's neat.
So you're an OG.
I technically am an OG. I guess I haven't thought about it that way. Yeah, I would say I am. But I should have gone freshman year. I wish I could tell my freshman year self, go to Women in Film. She didn't know she was doing that. Now I know what I'm doing. Freshman year me now would have such a great conversation over tea. Oh my God. Yeah.
As we all would.
Yeah.
But I have to add a follow-up question.
Sure.
Did you actually make a feminist critique of The Godfather?
No.
No?
No. That was part of our. So yeah, we made an Instagram reel, and we were thinking of funny things to say. It was Alyssa's idea, and I did not make a feminist critique of The Godfather because I like I said, am a feminist but love The Godfather, except the parts where the women gets hit around. That's pretty not okay. That's the only feminist critique I have is don't hit women, which happens in The Godfather. But as we know, he gets his, so that's all. Yeah, no, like I think The Godfather is such a great film, and I'm not a man hater either. I think man hating is wrong. Don't man hate. Like, you need to appreciate the men around you who are awesome and nice and, like, work really hard on film, because there are some awesome guys out there, like, working their ass off in the film industry. Sometimes they don't get enough credit, and I'm like, it doesn't matter, like, what gender you are. Be whatever gender you want. Just, like, have fun, be nice, and make art. Like, it's not that bad. But yeah, that's my feminist critique of The Godfather. That's it.
So you gave it to us here.
Yeah, I gave it to you right here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Awesome. And now to kind of move on to the films that you did make in Relentless Reflection. So I kind of want to ask you about that and what that story means to you.
Relentless Reflection. So I was there when the baby was born. We were working on this film for months and months and months. It started with a log line. I'm Michaela Picard. Ended up writing our script, revising it, working very hard on it. And we all knew, I think, essentially from the beginning that we wanted to do a horror film, which I thought it was really cool to try and do a horror film. I hadn't really done a horror film to scale like this, but I knew I did a film called She's Perfect for the 24-hour film challenge, and that was like our horror genre. And I'm like, I could do horror again. Horror is really fun and really cool, and I enjoy doing horror. So that process of like pre-production was so much work went into it, because we were planning lots of like logistical things and lots of the like choices for the shots and choices for the storyboards. We ended up storyboarding with Legos and taking pictures of Legos and putting them around like where we thought the actors were going to go, in which room, and taking a photo. Okay, this shot is going to look like this. And I stole that idea from another director. That's not my original idea, but I thought it was really cool. And I decided we could like use that for when we get to set and try and block and put our actors
quite literally
block.
Yeah.
Literally block. That was really fun. I think that was one of my favorite parts of doing the capstone, was doing the little Legos prior. And then I love being on set. Being on set is my favorite place to be. It is exhausting and it is a lot of work, but I really, really loved working with our actors. They were so professional. And I took Ash's directing class, which taught me so much. Thanks, Ash. About like how to work with actors and how to specifically talk to them and make sure you're not telling them what to do. Let them kind of like interpret that. Their performance the way they want. And so beforehand I was doing all the things wrong. And working with Shelby prior to my directing class, I told her, I said, I hope I didn't like do the wrong thing when I directed you. She said, oh, that's funny, like I never would have known. But I did tell her, I was like, I could have been better. And so I hope I was better this time around, because I had learned like those tools as a director. It's not so much about what you're telling them to do, it's just giving them the little like guidelines along the way for their performances to like get fine-tuned. So it was very fun to work with all our actors. And post-production is happening now, which is not my forte, I will say. I used to like editing, and now I can't sit in front of a computer for more than 4 seconds. So luckily someone else is doing that for me. Thank
Very
God.
Relatable.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think it's I'd rather be outside or like doing something with my free time, watching movies in my free time.
But yeah, I know those capstones. I talked to our friend Ronnie Diesel in the gym.
Diesel.
And he told me about all the long nights and how difficult that could be with capstones. So
oh yeah.
I'm happy that you guys were able to get through it, make your film.
We did such a great. I'm very proud of our team. We made it through some really hard evenings. Like we had, I think the longest hours I did for one day was 18 hours. 18 hours, and that's a lot. That's a lot of hours.
Yes, that is indeed.
It's a lot because you also have to prepare your body for something like that too. And I was trying to like keep my body in check, and to this day I've had like body stuff going on that I'm like, oh, I could have like prepared for that better if I had tried. But also, we didn't see the sun for like hours a day. We would wake up and then the sun would set, and then we'd go back to sleep and the sun would rise, and it's like, where's the sun? I haven't seen the sun in 4 days. Like, what's going on? Yeah, I'm just really proud though, because our team made it through lots of hardships, and I'm happy about like the outcome, and we got some really cool stuff that we shot, and it's really cool. I'm very, very proud, very, very proud. Yeah.
Yes, as you should be.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm nervous about the screenings though. What I'm really excited to see is everyone else's films. I can't wait, because all these other capstones are working so hard.
Yes.
And I know everybody has put all their efforts into this, and some of those scripts are so amazing, and I just can't wait to like see them. I want to watch them all in person. Like that's my goal. I'm not so much interested in like mine anymore. I'm more interested in other people's, because we've been working on ours for so long, but everyone else is just like getting made at the same time. It's like I want to see those.
Yeah,
I want to see those
as well.
a lot. They're so cool.
Yeah, because I was a part of Baby Shoes. I was a PA.
You're right.
And I was on extra on One Night Only today.
Oh my gosh.
And I should have like a little cameo in there. So I'll be like Leonardo DiCaprio in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
totally.
But
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
But it's
Love that.
so much fun, and it's great to see our friends, people we know in these professional settings.
They're
doing
thriving.
the things they love.
I'm so proud. I have a director's group chat that sometimes I use. I'm like, good luck everybody on their shoots. It's very inspiring to see. Like I said, I think it's kind of contagious when you have somebody who is very passionate about what they do, or like, you know, is trying really hard, and then that kind of like encompasses how. Sorry.
No worries.
Touch the road, Mike. How you feel about your work when you're working with somebody. So it's really cool to have like nice, awesome people around you when you're working, because then it inspires you to do better, inspires you to make better work. Yeah. Surround yourself with good people, and then you'll be better for it, I guess. That's what I've learned.
I cannot argue with that at all.
Yeah.
So you answered this question earlier, but I like to still ask it.
Okay.
For fun.
Sure.
If you weren't involved in film with the drive that you have, what would you do?
Cry.
Cry. Other than cry, what do you think you would do?
Oh, wow. So, no, I wouldn't cry. I'd probably not be as fulfilled in my life, but I would definitely do something with history. I would really want to do, I said this before, I was talking with my mom over the summer, and I was like, Mom, like, if I didn't do film, I would do film archiving. I would go in, like, see the libraries full of, like, you know, film reels and all that stuff, and, like, want to organize them. Because sometimes I'm good at organizing. Sometimes I'm good at organizing. People who have seen my room maybe wouldn't agree with me, but I like to organize and categorize, and I have my DVDs at home are alphabetized, so maybe I could do something with that, like taking time to either, like, you know, preserve stuff, or because I also like antiquing. Our sound guy Joe Monti and I have bonded over antiquing. We like old stuff, so that's something I also am interested in. I like history, I like old things. That is something I would probably consider to, it's film related. It's film related, but film archiving, or being some sort of like person who deals with you know, preserving film, or like, you know, doing something like along those lines, technology related, old technology related. So ridiculous, but a niche and weird, but I think that's where I'd end up. Or I could maybe be a teacher, who knows? I don't know. I don't think I could deal with like 3-year-olds though. 3-year-olds to 10-year-olds, don't do that to me, but maybe something like that.
Perhaps in another life you were Indiana Jones.
Yes, and I love Indiana Jones, and I'm obsessed with Indiana Jones. I still haven't seen the new one, and I need to. It's like about time. But the first one I love. That's actually, you reminded me when I was a kid, before I was really thinking about becoming a filmmaker, which I still was, but I wanted to do whatever you do in the desert where you dig up stuff.
Archaeology.
Yeah,
Yes.
Archaeology. I wanted to be an archaeologist and find stuff and find gold in the desert. That's what I wanted to do.
Awesome.
Instead of film. I think film may be a better track for me now, but
Yeah, I mean, archaeology sounds better than crying.
Yeah.
So we made some ground here.
You're not wrong, Ryan. You're not wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, so kind of on a similar note, I'd like to ask you about some things that people may not know about you.
Oh.
Which you've given
Some
us some
things-
options so far, but
Some things people may not know about me. Oh, you know what I just thought of the other day? I don't know if you... That question came up in my brain yesterday, and now you're asking me that. So I have a good answer, and it's that I am quite good at the jump rope. I can jump. I can do double jump. I can do, like, tricks with the jump rope. I don't know why, but I can jump rope pretty well. That's a talent, a hidden talent of mine that I didn't know I had until I remembered. Like, I took gym, and I would do jump rope tricks. My friends would be like, "Whoa, like, what is she doing? That's so crazy." But I do know how to jump rope pretty well. That's something I can do. I can also rollerblade. I don't know if that's a skill or not.
I
That is
consider
a skill. Okay,
Yeah.
I can rollerblade. Yeah, and I can skateboard, but I'm afraid to because I'm gonna crack my head open probably if I continue skateboarding. So
Yeah,
I can skateboard, I can rollerblade, and I can jump rope. That's it.
very, very nifty.
Yeah.
Very, like,
Sporty.
well, coordination.
So weird. Yeah.
That's helpful
Yeah.
to be coordinated.
It is.
Directing,
Yeah.
handling things.
Yeah. Well, sometimes things fall on set, and you have to be peripherally prepared to catch stuff. I did drama in high school, and I remember a friend of mine was standing right next to a 10-foot beam, and the 10-foot beam came down and almost hit her head, could have, like, cracked her skull, and I went, and I stopped it.
Whoa.
Like, right before it fell, and I was like,
Your spidey senses.
and I saved her life. Yes, my spidey
Your
senses.
Schnarr senses,
But
yes.
I remember that moment so well because it was traumatizing for her. She's like, "Dude, that could have hit me in the head," and I was like, "Yeah, I could have hit you in the head." She's like, "Thank you," and I'm like, "No problem."
All a
I
day's
got
work.
you. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Jump roping. I have to take it back up though.
Yeah, Wonder Woman swooped in to
Yeah.
to save-
Wonder
Save her.
Woman. Yeah. Yeah. Super fun.
So interesting things on top of you played soccer,
Let's
a lot of the
see.
other things you mentioned.
I don't know. See, I'm trying. Okay, something I'm trying to do, which I don't know is a fun fact. People know is that I'm trying to learn to cook, but I don't know how. And my meal of choice today was a mac and cheese sandwich, which people have made fun of me for. Yeah, it's really good though. Like it just regular white bread. You toast 2 pieces of bread. Okay. You toast 2 pieces of bread, not plain. No. Toast 2 pieces of bread. You make a cup of mac and cheese, and then you put the bread on the plate. You spread the mac and cheese on the bread, and then that's your sandwich. And it's delicious. It's delicious. And I started this ritual on Capstone when I didn't have any food that I wanted, and I said, "Here's 2 pieces of bread. Let me toast these. Oh my God, look, there's mac and cheese right here. I'm gonna make a sandwich out of this." And that's my creation. I don't know if that counts as cooking
Whatever works.
or not, but that is my most recent discovery with food. So, yeah.
Whatever gets the job done.
Totally. Yeah, it's fun. But I would like to learn how to cook more. I admire a lot of great cooks. My dad and my mom both really know how to cook. And I should start grilling or start doing something different with my food because I have a lot of food that doesn't agree with me. I'm not a vegetarian by any means. I love meat so much. But yeah, like I should try something new. I think my routine with food is like I've always had the same things at school. So let's try something else, you know?
Yeah, improving my cooking skills, that's something that's a goal of mine as well.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it is very important, Food is pretty important.
Food is important. You need it to live. So
Yes.
there's that. There's that factor.
So if people take away anything from this episode, it's that food is indeed important.
You have to eat. Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone should hear that loud and
Yes.
clear.
Listen up, America.
Yep.
But to kind of continue to talk about goals,
Yeah, sure.
I'd like to ask you
Great segue.
your hopes and dreams professionally or in general.
Aw, I have lots of hopes and dreams, lots, for lots of things and lots of people and lots of things. I probably, if I wanted to do something cool, would want to be a director. I don't want to be known for anything, though. I would want to be a secret person in the secret world and just make art and then run away. That's what I probably want to do. I really, really want to be in film for the rest of my life. I want to do all types of filmmaking. I want to be a director. I really have gotten interested in producing lately because I can talk my way around a circus, and I love people. So that's something I know about myself, producing or networking or something that has to do with organizing and formulating a film. I love producing. I love directing. My hopes and dreams in general, I don't know. I really want to travel more. I am a person who has been dying to go to Europe, and now I get to go to the Cannes Film Festival in France with Miss Blythe Frank and Miss Mary Schmidt, which is very exciting because they're going to help us navigate the world because I've never been out of the country, so that's going to be cool. And I get to do that, so that's a big deal for me personally. I'm like not prepared for how I'm going to feel being in another country because I've never been in another country. So traveling is a goal of mine, traveling literally everywhere and anywhere. I want to go as far as maybe Australia. Nobody knows. Nobody really talks about Australia, I feel. But the only thing I am scared about if I go to Australia is that I've heard that their spiders there are like the size of dinner plates. And that is not okay with me. I don't like spiders. I hate... Oh, something that people may not know about me, but coming back to that question, is that I am terrified of bugs. I'm not good with bugs. I don't know what it is about bugs. Sometimes, like flies, hit or miss. But if there's a stink bug, if there's a spider, if there's something that's flying, that's coming at me, I will scream and crawl to the ground and run away. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about bugs. Can't stand bugs. Butterflies don't scare me. Okay, some people get really scared by butterflies. I love butterflies. Even ladybugs, sometimes I don't know what they are, and they come flying at me, and I go, what the hell? And I start running away. Bugs scare me. That's a fear of mine. Also, my goal in life is to stop being afraid of bugs. That's another goal.
I was about to say.
My goal is to overcome my fear of bugs and chill, because I have no chill when it comes to bugs. I start screaming. It's like really... It's terrible for everyone else around me. It's really embarrassing too. But yeah, no, in general, growth is also a goal. I love to grow. I love to learn. I love to do like more things. I'm always very ambitious. I think I can try and do as much as I can in the moment, and I realize like, oh no, I can't do 5 things at once. Like stop. But it is a goal of mine to do all of those 5 things in time. You know, so just like see where the road takes me, and take it as it comes, and also enjoy it along the way. That is my best advice to myself in the future for that.
That's great advice.
My career and my life, I guess.
So be a, if you know, director.
You know, yeah.
Or to be in the know, you have to know,
Yes.
Director.
I know, I know. You know.
I know. And to travel.
Yep.
And to avoid... bugs. Is that a spider?
Stop. My God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. You know what? There's a little stain right there, and I thought it was something for a second. Naughty. Bad. It's okay.
I think it might be the capstone sleep deprivation making you see things.
There was one point during capstone I did kind of see faces in the walls, which is not okay. And could have been a ghost, could have not been a ghost, but I was like, I'm seeing faces in the walls. What does that mean? What does that mean?
It's like a horror film in itself.
Yeah, it was weird. Sleep deprivation does things to your mind. It shuts it down. So, yeah.
24-hour film challenge energy.
And that will never happen again. I physically can't stay up for more than 24 hours now because of that. I did it twice, and it was really fun. And thank goodness gracious, I won one year, which is really nice, and really I'm still flabbergasted at that. But doing it one more time, staying up 24 hours fully, I couldn't do. My body the next few days after that was like, I hate you. Go to bed. Don't go to class. And I had to go to class, and I was like, dang. But yeah, it's, you know what? It was really fun when I did it, but I just don't think I could do it anymore. Like, couldn't do it.
very real.
Save it for the freshman next year. Then they can stay up for a whole day.
They're young. They can do it.
They are. Yeah, I'm too old now to do that. Yeah, totally.
We're OGs. So now to ask you a question that we will probably spend the next few hours talking about.
Oh.
What are some of your favorite movies?
What are some of my favorite movies? That's a great question and a very hard one to answer. I do have one that has been at my top for a long time now. And it's called The Darjeeling Limited. It's a Wes Anderson film. It's a film about three brothers who end up joining a trip kind of out of nowhere. The main character, the film starts out, there's a guy and he's running and he's catching a train and he's in India and we don't know where we are. And we as like the audience like are with him because he's jumping on this train and we don't know what's going on, but you just jump on the train and see where it goes. And the story, the relationship between the brothers, like there's an estrangement. They are estranged. And they like form this wonderful bond through traveling together through India, and it's like the most beautiful movie I've ever seen. I think they shot in like these beautiful like locations, and that's another reason why I want to travel. It's like India looks so awesome. And that movie did something to me over the summer. I watched it like 5 times. I watched it 5 times over the summer, and I don't do that a lot with a lot of films. And that movie is like probably one of my favorites of all time because of how impactful it was for me, and just like the feel-good feeling that I felt after the film was over. That's another thing. The Darjeeling Limited. You should check it out. Have you seen it?
I have not yet.
It's one of my favorites. It's Wes Anderson's probably one of his best, in my opinion. I know he's like made a lot of movies and that's controversial, but Grand Budapest is probably his best, and then under that, The Darjeeling Limited, which just happens to be my favorite. So that's my favorite movie ever. One of my other favorite movies that is less, artsy or serious is the School of Rock with Jack Black. I love that. Jack Black makes that movie. There's something about him just teaching rock to kids is so funny. And the music they use too. Music in film, I love music. Music is probably my second favorite love. But music in film is another thing that I love. And that film has a lot of great music. So that's another reason why I really like that one. These are all at my Letterboxd top 4. So remembering what my top 4 are. It Happened One Night is up there. It's my 4th, I believe. What is my... Oh, no, I'm forgetting. It's embarrassing.
You can feel free to take it out.
Mary Poppins is up there. Mary Poppins is up there. It's probably, yeah, those are my top 4. Those are my Letterboxd top 4. The Darjeeling Limited, School of Rock, Mary Poppins, and It Happened One Night. Those are my top 4.
The Holy Grail.
The Holy Grail, yeah. Sometimes they change. So they have changed. I used to love American Beauty. I used to love Lost in Translation, but those just have been bumped down since I've found better things. It's I've seen over like 1,300 movies in my life, so it's a number. Sometimes they switch. It just depends on where I am and depends on what I like at the moment.
And the same thing happens for me.
Yeah.
Like I made.
What are your favorite movies, Ryan?
Turning on me. So the movie I've seen the most, which I know Ari brought up on here as
Love
well,
Ari.
that is The Dark Knight. And I know you said like because you're a guy.
No, I like that movie. It's really good. But also
yeah.
Expected.
So I would say the movie I've seen the most, The Dark Knight. Then I would say La La Land up there as well.
It's a beautiful film. It's very emotional. I saw it in theaters with my mom. It's a good one.
I watched it on Netflix with my mom.
Hell
so.
Yeah. It's a good mom watch movie.
It is a good mom watch movie.
Movies to watch with your mom list. Top of the list, La La Land.
And then another would be The Place Beyond the Pines. Have you ever seen that?
No.
It's
Who's in
excellent. Ryan Gosling, Bradley Cooper, very good.
When did it come out?
2014, 15 maybe.
Wow. I have to see it.
Derek Sanfrance, the director from Blue Valentine as well, did that film.
That's cool. Okay. Now I have to see that one.
So yeah,
Sounds good.
It's a really incredible Shakespearean story. Very interesting.
Nice. Super.
Then a lot of Nolan movies are up there, like Interstellar.
Yeah. Did you hear he's gonna make a new horror film?
I heard.
Are you excited
enticing.
about that?
I am very excited.
I think it's going to be interesting. I feel like he also kind of implements horror a little bit in his films. In general.
Like Oppenheimer.
Like Oppenheimer.
Some of those scenes.
He's done a couple different films that have so much tension that I think could be scary. You know what I mean?
And like Batman. There's a lot of horror inherently
totally.
In Batman.
Totally. I love Inception too. It's a great film. I have to rewatch that one. Oh, it's so visually interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, Inception's up there for me. Memento.
Yeah.
I haven't mentioned in a while on here, but Jerry Maguire.
Oh,
that's one of my favorite movies.
That's awesome.
Show me the money. Yeah. Point Break is up there. That's a very good one.
I have to watch some more of these because I'm I watch a lot of classic film, so I have to keep up on my like current film too. I had to divvy it. So it's like all my old movies I love, and then some current ones I'm like up to date with. Definitely I've seen The Dark Knight. I have seen that one, but a lot of the other ones I have to see.
And of course, the Batman is up there for me as well. So that's
Batman. I need to see the next one that's coming out after the the question mark guy head.
Yes, the Rizzler.
The Rizzler. Why did I forget? Oh man, see what I mean? Like
yeah, it's okay. Oh, Prisoners is up there as well. They remind me.
Denis
Villeneuve film.
Have you ever seen Seven?
I have.
I think do you like that one? I think
I
that
do.
was crazy. It's a great film. Yeah.
Fincher movie.
Yeah.
A lot like the Batman.
Yeah.
Very much.
Intense. I have to rewatch that one. That one's crazy. Love Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
What's in the box? I don't know. Wait. That was crazy.
Yeah, Nolan and Villeneuve, those are my two favorites. Nolan, Villeneuve, Scorsese, Derek Cianfrance, those are my 4 favorites.
That's so neat. Okay, so now, because I make letterbox lists for all my friends, I have to make one for you.
Okay.
I think I have to give you a list based off all these things you're telling me about what you should see.
It's like a self-help guide.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's helpful when I get ones because I haven't seen every movie in the whole world, and I am really sad about that. I have to pick and choose because you can't. There's not enough hours in life to watch as many movies.
Having a life is essential.
Yes. So you have to pick and choose, but if you pick like 2 or 3 on the list of 40 that I give you, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Yeah. But I have to make you one. I have to make you a letterbox list now.
Okay.
Because you're giving me ideas for what you might like. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll do that today. Probably later.
Okay. I thought you were going to tell me right now.
No.
Okay.
I
was gearing up.
I have a list of all the movies I've seen, and then I go through those and be like, oh, which one does that fit this person the best? And it's like every 5th movie I go, oh, yeah, they like that one. Oh, maybe they like that one too. Oh, I'll just throw that one in there because I like that one. They maybe like that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's an art to it.
There is an art to it.
It's like that meme from Breaking Bad for Walter White slowly pouring the thing in.
Yes.
Or it's Julia Schnarr making letterbox recommendations.
Also, love Breaking Bad. I am obsessed with it. I've seen it twice now, and I love Breaking Bad. I love Breaking Bad. It's probably one of my favorite shows ever.
Better Call Saul as well.
I haven't seen Better Call Saul.
I actually prefer Better Call Saul.
Lots of people have said that.
Which is an interesting thing.
I
I remember I talked to Emily about it, and
Did she say she liked it?
I told her I like Better Call Saul better, and she was like, "Oh, don't talk to me." So.
I guess it is differing, but I know what's the guy's name who plays Saul? I forget.
Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston? No.
Plays Walter White?
No, the lawyer, Saul.
Oh, Bob Odenkirk.
Bob Odenkirk. That's what I'm forgetting. Yeah, I think him in general, he's such a good actor, and he's such a good Saul. Like, I can't see anyone else doing that role better than him. I know I saw a movie called Nobody with him in it. Mm-hmm. He was also really, really good in that. Yeah, he's killer. So, like, I get why some people like Better Call Saul more. Yeah. No, I think that's, like, also a reason why people like it more. It's because Saul as a character, he's really, really good.
I think you would like it because it's very vintage, the way Better Call Saul is. I feel like it's the people who made Breaking Bad.
Well, then, I have to check it out.
Kind of people who made Breaking Bad. I don't want to say maturing as filmmakers, but improving in the way, too.
Oh, cool.
It's very, like, Hitchcockian in the way it's shot. I think you'd appreciate it. Very vintage
also
with the music.
Also love Hitchcock. Hitchcock has a lot of great films. Rear Window, masterpiece. Vertigo, loving. Yeah, there's a lot of old movies I like by Hitchcock, too. Okay, that's cool. That's good to know, because, yeah.
You're going to generate the most epic list of Letterboxd films
I will end up with a lot.
I will be.
You don't have to watch all of them. It's okay.
Don't worry. I just will, but it's okay.
You just will. Every single one. Will Tier made me a list once, and I still haven't gotten to about half of it. But I have been getting there. Slowly.
It's a process.
It is. It takes time. It takes time. If you have the time, you have the time. But
Exactly.
you have to make the time sometimes.
Indeed.
You know.
It's worth it.
Yeah, it is. I love movies.
With that all said, Julia, would you like to add anything else before we wrap things up?
No, I don't know what else to add. We talked so long and so much. I really appreciate you having me on the podcast. I was so happy to hear that you wanted me here, and I love the experience. It's so great. I love talking about movies, especially with my friends. I got to know more about you too. So you got to know about me. I got to know about you.
There's a trade-off.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, and thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
And for being very authentically you.
Thank you. I try.
And for being so interesting.
Thanks.
And for, of course, joining me here.
Thank you.
So as always, this is Ryan Ziaks with the Zicast, where everyone has a story, signing off. Thank you so much for watching.